breath, well, meant to try and keep my voice organized. The present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. That's about how the disability affects involvement and progress in the general curriculum. For preschool children, it's about how the disability affects participation in appropriate activities. Another IEP component is measurable annual goals, including academic and functional goals, to meet a child's need so they can be involved in and make progress in the general education curriculum and other educational needs that result from the disability. That's the functional needs part. 3, it should talk about how progress is going to be measured and when reports of progress will be issued. 4, it should talk about special education and related services and other supports and services for the child to advance towards annual goals, progress in the general curriculum, participate in extracurricular and non-academic activities, be educated and participate with all children. 5, it also should have a part that talks about the extent the child will not participate with non-disabled children in regular classes or activities. So, some questions that parents have had over time, or some questions that parents have been finding useful to use over time. When they look at their child's IEP, are the goals measurable? Do you know when it's going to be done? You should be able to think about it, look at what your child does and say, yep, he does it, she doesn't do it. Is your child in regular education all or part of the day? Why? Sometimes that's an interesting discussion. Does the IEP list modification, accommodations, and supports, including state and district-wide test accommodations? You're not going to have to worry about that at 3. Keep it in the back of your mind. You're going to be worried about those accommodations and modifications when your child gets to the point they do district-wide testing. But you still want to be thinking about it along the way. Is the school expecting the kind of progress that you believe your child should make? There's a law, it's actually a court case, that basically talks about that the school systems should be expecting progress, should be expecting good progress. That question, is the school expecting the kind of progress you believe your child should make, is more important than it looks like. Is my child expected and able to meet graduation requirements? I might be a little bit young at 3, but still keep it in the back of your head. I may not see you again for a long time, so try to keep track of these questions. When will the IEP be reviewed? Well, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to tell you, at least every year. It can be reviewed more often if you want to or if you need to. I'm always amused when parents call me and tell me that the teacher said they could only get one a year. Depends on what's going on, but lots of people get more than one IEP meeting a year, but at least every year. Procedural safeguards. I like procedural safeguards. They tell you what to do when things are going wrong. So you should get procedural safeguards notice once a year, unless there's initial referral. You should get it then. Unless the parent asks for an evaluation, out of the ordinary request for an evaluation, you should get it again. An initial filing of a due process hearing, there should be another procedural safeguards notice. If you ask for it, there's a booklet they can give you, another procedural safeguard notice. The the law allows the local education agencies to post notices on their websites about the procedural safeguards notice, and you can go get it anytime you want it. There's interesting things in there. Like I said, what do you do if things are going wrong? What are the timelines? What are the different choices for resolution processes, mediation? It's just a real interesting document. So, another one of those things to put in the back of your head. I know I'm giving you a lot. But if you know or have a child that's not eligible for special education and they're having problems, behavioral problems, and those behavioral problems may be about discipline, you need to make sure that the school system knows your child has these problems. And if your child has these problems, there are certain protections that are available to your child, even if they don't have an IEP yet. So, how do you make sure the school system knows? You write it down. You send an email, send it to the principal, send it to the teacher, send it to whoever. Maybe you ask for an evaluation for your child. Your child gets those protections if you've asked for an evaluation and you're waiting to hear back and or you're in the process. If a teacher or another school personnel express concerns about a pattern of behavior to administrator, bingo, there you are again. Your child has some protections. That doesn't sound like a lot, and there's whole workshops around these things, but it's important. Keep an eye up, keep it in the back of your mind. Okay, records. We're getting to the end. Records are a big deal. Records are hugely important. You keep records about buying a house, selling a house. Lots of people keep records about buying a car, selling a car, repairs that they've had to make on their cars. This is the same idea. This is your child's education. You need those records. You need medical records. You need the school system's assessments, the IEPs, discipline reports. You need letters. You need your own observations. Date it. Telephone notes. Believe me, I've noticed that you need to write the time, the date, and who you spoke to, and what you're supposed to do, and what they're supposed to do, because things kind of get really busy sometimes. My mama used to say, you never want to go to court, but you sure want to have your records in hand if you have to go to court. I'm not suggesting you're anywhere close to even thinking about that, but the way to make sure things don't happen is to prepare. So, my name's Melinda Elliott. The other educational specialist is Wallace Johnson. The third educational specialist is Beryl Cook. That's not really in any order. You can call and talk to any one of the three of us. Leave a message for any one of the three of us. There's contact information there for all of us. Oh my goodness, the chat box runs over. Let's see. Oh, Wallace is wonderful. He posted the Students with Disabilities Education Processes and Procedural Safeguards. I told you there's timelines and things. Wallace found all of the SPOs and put that. China did the SPO for our area. Wallace posted the Early Steps website. There's a wealth of information in here. The number for child find in the area. Some of you have older kids. Once you get one child evaluated, you realize, well, maybe another child needs some help. Are there any other questions? Because I'm fixing to give this back to China. China, it's yours. Let's see. How do I turn off stop sharing?